It's so chill, you know. It's so
Have you ever had a day where it felt like your taste buds won the lottery? Well, buckle up, because today's video is about to take you on a wild, flavor-packed ride through the streets of Bangkok.
Yum!
From, oh my god, this is so cheap, to, how would I live without this? This duo is serving up laughs, surprises, and enough food, which makes you want to book the next flight to Bangkok.
Wow!
Let's dive into a day of noodles, spice, and everything nice. Let's go!
Before you go.
Before we do though, make sure you like the video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and of course, ring that notification bell to make sure that you stay up to date on all of our new uploads. Mama walked into the lobby, her eyes scanning the area. To her surprise, she spotted Gladys already sitting on one of the plush chairs. Mama wasn't late. In fact, she was right on time, but Gladys had arrived even earlier. Mama approached her and said, "Hey Gladys, you're so early!" Gladys looked up, her face lighting up with a grin, and replied, "Yeah, I'm excited to go to that place now that I can stroll around with you." Her enthusiasm was contagious, and Mama couldn't help but laugh, feeling the same thrill for the day ahead. And this conversation was just portrayed by AI images, ladies and gentlemen. We're too lazy to find our own stock images. Mama teased Gladys a little, saying, "Well, since you're already here, I guess we can start our food marathon early." She turned to Mama and said, "Let's go." A bus ride later. As Gladys held the menu, her eyes widened in disbelief.
Wow!
She stared at the price and then turned to Mama with a look of pure shock, saying,
It's so chill, you know. It's so
Mama chuckled, nodding in agreement. Gladys is still trying to process how something so delicious could be so affordable. She already felt like she'd hit the jackpot. These little jars or bottles sitting on the table, waiting to take their meal to the next level. The iconic Thai condiments. Spicy vinegar, typically a mix of vinegar with garlic and chili. This adds a tangy, spicy flavor to dishes. It's especially great on things like som tam, papaya salad, or noodles. Pickled green chilies. These are often chilies soaked in vinegar, giving them a sour spicy profile. They're perfect for adding a sharp kick to any dish. Chili flakes. Dried red chili flakes are used for extra heat. They can be sprinkled on almost anything, from soups to stir fries, giving your meal that extra burn. Sugar.
Guess where all the sugar's made? In Brazil. Stolen. In the Caribbean. So goddamn profitable, you might forget to not do slavery.
This helps balance the spiciness and sourness. It provides that necessary sweet note in the Thai flavor spectrum. This is how they prepare their meal. When the food arrived, Gladys' eyes lit up. The bowl was steaming, filled with tender meat, fresh kangkong stalks, and perfectly cooked noodles, all swimming in a dark, fragrant broth. Yum! Mama took a bite and immediately started comparing it to the boat noodles she had just eaten on her first day in Bangkok and another shop. She said that the flavors were nearly identical. The broth was rich and flavorful, packed with savory, umami, beefy flavors that made it comforting and satisfying. The soup had that deep, hearty taste that you can only get from a only get from a well-prepared broth.
Yum!
The noodles were perfectly cooked. The term boat noodle, known as Kway Teo Duya in Thai,
boat noodles or kway teow rua.
has an interesting history tied to its origins in Thailand. The dish dates back to the mid-20th century, where it was commonly served on boats along the canals. These boats would travel along the waterways, which were vital for transportation and trade during that time. The small serving size also made it practical for vendors to balance their boats while cooking and serving. Even today, boat noodles are typically served in small portions, encouraging diners to order multiple bowls to try different flavors. As Thailand modernized and roads replaced canals as the primary mode of transportation, boat noodle vendors moved from the boats to the streets. However, they kept the small serving size and rich flavors that made the dish so iconic. Today, boat noodles are a popular street food found all over Thailand, especially in bustling cities like Bangkok. After their bowl of noodles, loaded with plenty of chili, Mama ordered a refreshing green soda. She poured it into a stainless steel mug filled with plenty of crushed ice. With full stomachs, they were now ready to explore the city. These vendors selling lottery tickets, especially in busy areas or near markets. These vendors are part of a long-standing tradition of street-level lottery sales. They hopped on a bus, and as they passed the bustling road, Mama suddenly spotted a Filipino restaurant.
Oi! Philippines! Philippines!
Bangkok is one of those cities where you can't escape the constant hustle and bustle. People are always rushing around, whether it's on foot, in taxis, or on motorbikes. The streets are packed, the markets are loud, and the noise from traffic never seems to stop. It's easy to get caught up in all the movement, and before you know it, it feels like you're always on the go, with no time to just relax or catch your breath. The city's pace can be intense, and sometimes it feels like there's no space to slow down. Every day seems like a race to get from one place to another. It can be exhausting, especially for a meek, frail introvert like me, and it's easy to forget what it's like to just take a break and enjoy the moment. The fast-paced rhythm of life in Bangkok doesn't give you much time to just stop and breathe, and it can feel like you're constantly moving but never really going anywhere. But here's the thing, even in a city as chaotic as Bangkok, there are still spots where you can hit pause and find some peace. Whether it's a park, a quiet street, in a temple, or a peaceful cafe, these little corners of calm give you the chance to step away from the madness and reset. They offer a moment to take a breather before you dive back into the rush, reminding you that it's okay to slow down every once in a while. One of those peaceful escapes is Benjakitti Park. Is that how you say it? The usual noise of the city seemed to fade away, replaced by the peaceful chirp of birds, the sound of the wind blowing through the trees, and the soft ripples of water. It was a break from the chaos of everyday life. The calmness around created the backdrop for a conversation. Mama and Gladys talked about everything from life to travel to all the little things in between. It was one of those rare moments of stillness that they both enjoyed. In a world that often felt too fast and too busy, it was nice to just pause. They both knew how important it was to slow down every once in a while. They found a bench by the lake and decided to sit for a while, to listen to each other, to connect, and to have a conversation that mattered, taking the time to truly be present. As Mama sat there, listening to Gladys share her story, she suddenly had a realization. She thought about how, no matter where people were in the world, or even if they were in a completely different universe, possibly, everyone had their own story to tell. Sometimes it feels like we're all in different dimensions of the earth, living separate realities, but at the heart of it all, everyone faces challenges, experiences the same struggles. They might look different from person to person, but what really matters is that they're valid experiences. Mama realized that everyone's hardships are personal, and those personal experiences are what shapes us, what makes us who we are, and what makes our stories worth telling. Every story deserves to be heard, no matter how big or small. Mama and Gladys decided to head back to their hostel after exploring the Benjakitti Park. Another bus ride later.